What's going on, you glorious bastards? My name is FOXSOL. I'm a Berserk fan, and I'm going to tell you right now, we're talking more about Lords of the Fallen here. Why did I say Berserk fan? Because I'm looking at the God Hand basically over here. That's what it reminds me of so much, and I wanted to say that. But in all honesty, this video right here is to go ahead and discuss the story, the lore of Lords of the Fallen, because in all honesty, the game does a job of setting up a story. And honestly, I feel like that's it. That's all it does. It just sets up a story. It tells you what you're going to do. And that's it. The secondary quest lines of learning what characters are, what they do, their history, their path is relatively not good. The way that the developers on paper with the stigmas and everything sounds like a great concept in explaining more of the lore of the game. But in all honesty, it really doesn't work in the practicality of things. So before we get really started on this, if you are still playing Lords of the Fallen, you're a person that, you know, is enjoying the game, you haven't beaten the game yet, I recommend to you not to watch this because I'm probably going to end up spoiling something here for you, and take that with a grain of salt. That's all I'm going to say. That's your PSA, so get the fuck out of my video if you haven't beaten this game yet. But in all honesty, what I'm going to talk to you about is that I just started like New Game Zero. I went through everything, and I'm going to explain to you basically what my problem with this, with the lore of this game is, and why I honestly don't think there is any. Or in reality there is, but the problem is that it's very cryptic, and we need to start from the beginning, in all honesty, to really discuss this. So let me go ahead and warp real quick. We're not going to go to this area. We're going to go straight to the village, because it's going to make it to where we can discuss this really easily. What you're going to see here is this is the path, and you cross here after you fight the Light Reaper, do your tutorial area, your tutorial boss, everything else. And just to show you, this is the arena you fight in. I did on purpose to die over there to the Light Reaper and all that good shit. And I watched the cutscene again after, because the Light Reaper wants your lantern. Okay. And then Iron gets in the way. Apparently they must have fought or something. And then Light Reaper said, fuck you, and left. That's basically what happened there, I would assume. Then you talk to Iron over here. Iron basically tells you he's defied gods and kings and all this other fucking bullshit at this fucking vestige over here. And in which case scenario, okay, cool. And then he basically says to you to piss the fuck off because you forgot it's his goddamn birthday and you didn't get him a fucking present. Okay. Then you come over here, you know, you see that there's little butterflies and shit right here, which means there's a stigma. You watch this fucking stigma right here. You... And as a casual gamer, you really don't know what the fuck's going on here. What the fuck does this mean? Okay, that's pretty cool. So I guess, you know, the idea is that we need to find these stigmas in order to get more context of the story that's going around. Well, like, what happened? How did things happen the way they happened? You know, what went on in this world? So let's go move on. You go through all this area. You go fight the next boss, which is Pieta. And basically she's attacking you for the fucking purpose of, you know, you got that lamp and it wasn't given to you. There was someone else that was supposed to have it. It was the other paladin that was supposed to have, but who fucking died to fucking Light Reaper, and it fell into your hands. And then fucking the priest guy, Dunmire over here, the Exactor, let's go see him real quick. He's like, oh, you're the chosen God now. Oh, you're the chosen Jesus for me. You go fucking do this shit. This guy right here. And then he comes here. He welcomes you into the Skyres, calls you a fucking Dark Crusader, even though you could have had any fucking goddamn fucking build. Doesn't mean you're a fucking goddamn fucking Paladin Dark Crusader. Doesn't mean that shit. in all honesty, you probably want to take this fucking lantern right now. You probably want to go to a fucking pawn shop and pawn it off. But hey, we're going to set up a story. He basically tells you about the fucking beacons, how, you know, they're getting corrupted right now and how they need to be, you know, cleansed from being corrupted. Otherwise, it's going to make it where a deer can come back to the world. This bitch over here basically comes, you go talk to her because you technically killed her. She reborn, but now her blood basically can purify and make you stronger, give you more Escus flask, and she can give you rebirth yourself. This motherfucker here is a crying, whiny little bitch about fucking wanting to fucking bring up the re-honor of the fucking holy, the fucking hallowed sentinels, whatever. Then you got motherfucking Frenchie over here that fucking wants to basically take the lantern from you because he's a little bitch and he's fucking basically Pathius in this fucking game if you ever played Dark Souls. Okay, so we got the fucking storyline of the beginning. Now, like in every Dark Souls game, it's really quick, it's really fast, it sets up the story. But what brings in the meat and potatoes of the story, what brings in the meat and potatoes of the game would be, you know, these little guys right here. You talk to them, you get their little side quest.
If you're headed for Pilgrim's Perch, friend, the hallowed sentinels don't welcome everyone. Not even a faithful pilgrim who's crossed countless miles of land and sea to join them. All I wanted was to serve the divine judge cleric, but they deemed me unworthy and chased me off. What's a poor, rejected disciple to do now, I ask you?
You get his story. Okay, cool. And I think he's one of the very few that actually provides you with more storyline for himself. But other characters, other NPCs, whether it's Iron, whether it's fucking Stolman, whether there's other NPCs like Demarosa, whatever, you're really not getting an actual fucking story. What you're getting pretty much in this game is a cryptic fucking mess. The story is, especially with the stigmas in particular, you got the base idea of what you're doing, but the problem is that to justify the endings, the Lord's ending, the Radiant ending, the Umbral ending, there's nothing that actually showcases this. Like, again, another stigma. We saw the first one. We saw Pieta's one. Well, here's this one.
Oh, hallowed sentinels, most blessed representatives of the Holy Judge Cleric, my soul soars to see.
Hold your tongue, pilgrim, and on your feet. You are on sacred ground, and we are yet to see whether you are deserving of that honor.
I assure you, I have dedicated my life to the teachings of Judge Cleric. My faith in her and her divine works is boundless.
Pray it is, for our immaculate lady's light will lay bare the truth, and in radiance there is judgment.
What the fuck does it mean? What the fuck was going on? The Pilgrim guys fucking thing, the Hollow Knights are fucking goddamn douchebags is basically what the fuck I'm getting right here. Like, what does that have to do with anything about the story? How did the fucking, you know, the beacons become corrupted? They're about to fail and everything, but what made them corrupted? Why does, you know, the judge, everything else, why is the deer so fucking bad? What the fuck's going on? Like, in all honesty, the story in this game, the lore is really non-existent after the beginning part of the game. You don't give a fuck. And I'm going to have those people who's going to be like, well, no, I give a fuck. And this is the reason why this happened here and here. You need to watch this stigma and this stigma. What I'm telling you is that from the average gamer's point of view, who's played Dark Souls games, who's played fucking Elden Ring, who's played the thing, you're not taught, when you're breaking the story up like you are right here, you're not actually engaging with the person. You're not giving me feeling. Elden Ring, I meet Rainy. I meet fucking several different characters that actually make me feel, you know, while I'm doing their quest, that, you know, I want to listen more. I want to hear more. The stigmas that's in here that basically tells you a story of what's happening, what happened, the history of everything is so broken. The one for Winterberry, after you fight with the Hush Saint and everything, She got poisoned by one of the monsters. Did she fucking die or anything before you met her? You don't know what the fuck it means. Some of these stigmas actually is so broken and confusing that you got to try to put it all the fuck together. And that's not the way you tell a fucking story. Like, here's another fucking stigma. What's this one? I don't remember this one too much.
Diviner dear, witness this offering I make to you.
We know it's I know it's Demarosa now, but in the beginning, I didn't know who the fuck that was. I didn't know what the fuck. And still, at that point in time, what the fuck does it mean? Did she cut herself or as a fucking, you know, bullshit for, you know, a sacrifice to fucking a deer? And I'm just, you know, being stupid here or whatever. Did she cut herself to give blood? What is the point? In all honesty, this is like a fucking PS4 fucking game that just should have been like a PS4 game. And then I should have another version of this game, a remastered version for fucking PS5 with actual fucking cutscenes to see what's going on to get the context of the issue. In Dark Souls, when I did quest lines, I understood what was going on in those quest lines. I understood, you know, some of it was cryptic, but it started. The more I went through down that rabbit hole, the more that quest line made sense. In this game, with the stigmas and everything, the more I go into this finding stigmas, the more I confuse I get 9 out of 10 times. That's why I stopped fucking looking at looking for the fucking stigmas. Because if there's certain areas you missed or whatever, you're not going to find out the full fucking story. I don't understand what the fuck happened with the fucking beacon still. How did they get corrupted? What's going on? We went through this on a live stream. We would go look at several different stigmas and, you know, all honesty, no one actually legitimately could come up with what really was going on. It was very, very well confusing. It's so cryptic at most times in the story. The only thing this game did good enough to set up a story was the beginning. The endings don't really explain much of what the fuck's going on. I think that this might be the ending fucking, you know, Monarch fight.
When they speak to me of it, but I know what they think. That by marrying such a minor noble, I'm putting my own happiness before the good of the royal line and the welfare of Mondstadt. But they don't see in her all of the things that I do. This kingdom is my home, and I will do everything I can to protect it, as I always have. As you did, Mother. But I refuse to accept that requires forsaking the woman I love. Sufficia only makes me a better man, a better king. And Mondstadt will be all the stronger with her at my side.
What the fuck does that have to do with anything? What the fuck does that have to do with his fucking backstory? Like I would like to fucking understand more. I understand that he's crying over his fucking love and everything, but you know, the stigma was not a fucking way of telling the story. To tell the history, to tell the importance of each character's quest line. The only ones that I could legitimately say that quest line that actually makes any sense is Stoma's one. And the only stigmas that actually also makes sense is with him and with Byron. Because when you find out that Byron lost the pendant and everything else, and you go into the fucking next areas and everything, and when you progress the game, there's a spot where if you find the stigma, he's with his fucking wife, and you see about the pendant and why it means so important to him. But it's within the progression of the game. You've already met Byron. You already know who he is. In some cases, you haven't met the fucking final boss or anything. You're not going to remember that shit. You haven't met Demarosa. You may never go into that little fucking area there to go find the fucking stigmas. It's just what it is. I don't know. I'm going to tell you that in my personal opinion, in all honesty, because of how the fucking story, how the lore and everything is set up in this game, to me, it is basically non-existent. As a casual gamer, there is no point in caring about the fucking story. There is no point in caring about the lore. You may hate me for saying that, but that's my honest opinion. I feel like there is multiple issues in the storytelling, and the stigmas is one of the biggest fucking problems. I got the beginning from how all this is supposed to be, but I still don't understand anything more of the reason why I should go the fucking way of the Lords, why I should go the way of the Radiants, or the way of the Putrid Mother, the Umberlanding. I don't understand what the fuck his goddamn fucking problem is. Right here, I don't really understand what Frenchie's fucking problem is, because his fuck quest line's fucking shit. I really don't understand about why Pieta really in her fucking thing with the Umber ending, why that fucking is there. I don't understand why with the putrid mother shit, why this fucker fucking matters in that shit. I don't understand much of really anything story related. And if the stigmas is what you got to go find every fucking stigma in order to understand the story, I still don't think I would understand it. We got almost half of them. And out of half of them, maybe 2 or 3 of them made sense. The rest didn't. I really feel like there should have been more dialogue in the sense of the actual quest line. I feel like there should have been more cutscenes. I feel like there should have been more, and I honestly feel like in some cases the developers gave up halfway on telling a story and just threw these stigmas in here, just be like, they were like, it was planned to be a cutscene, and they cut it for budget reasons. Like, just put a stigma there. Some players gonna figure it out. And in all honesty, if you're a person who is a casual player, not a person who's a diehard fan to figure out the shit, you're going to basically look at these stigmas. You're going to be the same way I believe as I am. You're going to look at it for a couple of minutes. You're going to try to find a bunch of them, and then you're going to fucking just give up and be like, you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm just going to play the game like normal. Like, I don't have a fucking actual fucking journal in this fucking game that actually fucking tells me anything. It's completely fucking useless. And in fact, I don't even fucking see my fucking journal. Where the fuck my journal at? Because I didn't collect the map piece, because all it's there for is the fucking map pieces. You know, in Dark Souls and other Soul-like games, there's like, you know, letters, there's stuff that you could pick up that, you know, you get an idea. Oh, but you know, you don't understand. You could go get the lore from the actual weapons you use. What the fuck does this tell me? A dagger issued by each Dark Crusader upon the introduction as thing. Initiated into the Dark Crusaders involve us. Okay, I get the fucking lore of that right there for a second. What about the lore of the fucking Dark Paladin shit? Like, it's not telling me the actual story behind things. I don't actually have any meat and potatoes. All I got is frost-covered fucking vanilla cupcakes that is colored in either banana, it's covered in strawberry, or it's covered in blueberry, but yet it all tastes like fucking vanilla, and everything else here, which is the cupcake. This all here, this entire fucking world is the cupcake. It's so fucking bland tasting that I don't give a fuck about the story. I was slightly interested in the beginning, and then towards the fucking playing the game and more getting towards the halfway point, the game became as interesting as nothing. It just became just your typical, for me, let's go run the Souls game. That's it. So take it for what you want. You don't have to agree with me. This is my opinion. But as cryptic as this game is, as vague as the story is in this game, put it all together, I can't, man. I can't honestly come to you and tell you that there is a legitimate story. I can't come to you and tell you there's legitimate lore behind this. Like, all I say is that this is something that was just thrown together. It had an idea, and then the rest of it was like, it was put together originally, and then it was just thrown together afterwards. That's the best way of putting it. That's my personal opinion. Take it or leave it. Don't care. But I will catch you guys in another video. I'll catch you on the flip side. Take it easy. Have a good one. And leave me a comment below. Tell me how wrong I am or how right I am or what your thoughts is. I mean, what else you want me to tell you? We've gone through this on stream. I have several people I believe agree with me on this. So I really want to get someone else's opinions to tell me where I'm wrong at. But hey, again, it is what it is. So take it easy and have a good one.